All right, it's Nothing But Anarchy. I am Chad Sanders. Welcome, bike. Um, Morgan, we got what? 5,000 downloads now?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
Damn it. We're doing something. Look, this is a compounding interest vehicle. Over time, it is growing. We're watching it grow. Also, it is growing in artistic dimensions. On Tuesday, me and Morgan went out and did an episode of the show in Prospect Park.
In the rain.
In the fucking rain. We did not anticipate the rain. I mean, we could not have anticipated
Yeah, I
the
saw
rain.
that.
Like, we saw it on the weather, but once we made the decision, because it was also supposed to rain today. So, the reason why we did it Tuesday is because when we checked the weather last week, it said it was going to rain today. Obviously, it is not raining right now.
Isn't
Of course,
that
it's not.
funny how the
Yes.
universe
But I actually think that God and the universe conspired in our favor because that meant that the park was basically empty. So we didn't have to deal with a bunch of foot traffic and people walking past us and shit. And this is the thing. We're doing something here. We call it a podcast, but like a podcast means anything now. Like this is a show and we're trying to offer you as many dimensions of the show as possible. And within those dimensions, like we're trying to bring you with us where we're at. So we're in the park. We want y'all to be able to see the beautiful park. A puppy comes and runs up on the show. We want you guys to be there with us with the puppy. A lot of people are consuming this show while doing their life, sitting there through a work call that they don't want to be on, doing shit for their kids, making dinner, whatever. Like we want you all to be able to be with us and the show while you're doing your life. So we're trying to take it some new places. My birthday was yesterday. So let's start right there. Tuesday, we got poured on. Like we are cold and wet by the end of this experience in Prospect Park. We did a little bit of it in under the arch like that you walk into when you go in the main entrance of right by Grand Army Plaza. But for most of the show, we were getting poured on. And then we get in the car and the conversation is like, we need to drink ginger because we need to not get sick from this. And like Morgan and I really like, I know everybody needs to not get sick. Obviously, we all have like lives and shit like that. But like, we really need to not get sick. Like, it's really bad for everything if one of us is not able to get up and do the things we got to do. We both have 50-11 jobs. Like, we both have to be on our feet for our jobs. So we need to not get sick. So thankfully, we're not sick. It's great. But as we're leaving, Morgan asks me, she says something like,
I asked if you were a birthday person.
You asked if I was a birthday person, and you asked if I was going to get myself something for my birthday,
Yeah.
right? And my response to that was, what?
You said you were going to let yourself spend more money on ads.
I'm going to give myself a little more budget to boost things that I am promoting on Instagram. And that is just honesty. Like, at this particular phase of my life, I am investing in growing this platform so that this expanded can be my life for as long as I want it to be. So I don't want to spend $500 on a jacket or $1,000 on a trip, and we're going to come back to that. I would rather spend $1,000 or $500 producing more of this show or making sure that another 1,500 people out there who might like me and like what I do know that I exist. So that's a gift to myself, basically. Yesterday, I would say the first half of the day was difficult for me for a few reasons. One, it's my first birthday single in 5 years, basically. So there was I'm used to this life now. I'm in this life now. I'm honestly been enjoying this life now. But it was birthdays are a weird moment where you are being asked by people that care about you and others and strangers in some ways to take stock of your life, like to take inventory. And my life is not like, it just is what it is. I got to call it on its face. Like, my life is not like other people's lives. Like, this is not a day where my coworkers are gonna come bring me a cupcake. You know what I mean? Like, there's no going to the conference room for everybody to sing happy birthday. I don't get paid for a week. Like, I can't take paid time off to go on a vacation. You know what I mean? Like, who's gonna pay me? So on a birthday, and I've said this about, I feel this way on other days too. I often feel this way. I used to feel this way on weekends, not as much right now, but I often feel this way on holidays, where I can feel the quiet, even from like where I'm working, which is honestly mostly in my home office, here in the car on the way here. I can feel the quiet of people not stirring at their places of business. And it annoys me that everybody's chilling because I'm fucking working. And I'm working, like, that's not a sob story. Like, truly, I love to work. Part of what was hard for me yesterday was some voice was telling me, Chad, you're supposed to take it easy today. Like, I could hear someone being like, oh, are you going to take the day off? Oh, in fact, some people asked me that. But, like, that's not fun to me. That's not, like, taking the day off to do, my whole life is a day off. Like, what the fuck am I going to take the day off to do? Like, dead ass.
I feel you on that.
Like, what? Like, what would I, like, take a day off? Nigga, like, this, what do you guys think I do every day? Like, so I'm like, how am I supposed to, okay, so I'm like, all right, I take the day off, and I look up, and I'm just sitting at my counter drinking coffee, because I'm like, I guess I'm taking the day off. Like, what the fuck is a day off? Penny is, okay, so Penny's there. Penny's with me, right? Penny's my 80-pound German Shepherd. 4 years, she turns 4 next month. Sweetheart of an animal. She's had diarrhea for the last few days because the dog sitter let her eat General Tso's chicken. I don't even want to get into it. By accident, presumably. Definitely had to be by accident. But I'm like, how does the dog get General Tso's? Is this General Tso's chicken on the floor? Like, did she jump and get it? Like, I have had Penny for 4 years. She has never gotten my food one time.
There's
like,
a lot of questions there.
It doesn't, like, I'm like, how did you get General Tso's chicken? I'm like, people shouldn't even eat General Tso's chicken. Like, how did you let the dog get it? So, General Tso's chicken is not real Chinese food. It is made up American Chinese food, okay? So, I'm staying 100 million feet away from any jokes about my dog eating Chinese food. So I'm just sitting there, and naturally, I turned 36. I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, there's nothing else to, this is another reason why I'm like, I shouldn't be taking a day off. There's nothing else to do but to just sit there and think about my life, right? Just literally just sit there and be like, all right, I'm supposed to be relaxing. So what the fuck, what do I do? Like, what do you do when you're relaxing? Like, well, here's what a lot of people do. Go on Instagram, watch TV, work on a creative project. That's my job. So what do I do when I'm relaxing? Like, I took the dog to the dog park, but like, I do gotta do that anyway. So I felt those holidays and birthdays, there's a couple other days that make me feel the dissonance and the distance between what my life is and what other people's lives are like. And I bet you guys can both relate to this in your own ways.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
You're like, if there's a thing in me that feels bad when I feel outcast from the tribe, when I feel like not a part of the tribe, it swells on these particular days.
For sure. My birthday's in like 2 weeks. I'm gonna be feeling the same way.
Yeah, there you go. Well, hopefully a little bit less today.
No.
A little more connection. But like, it's like, okay, so maybe, and then, you know, people are calling, people are texting, and it's nice for the most part. It's meant to be nice. I don't say a peep about it on social media because I don't, until late at night, because I don't want my phone to explode with happy birthdays from strangers. I just like, that's useless. So I at some point in the middle of the day, I start to feel a little bit better because the day is passing over. Some people think I'm a birthday person because I had 3 birthday parties for my 30th birthday in 2 different cities. But like, that was my 30th birthday.
That's insane.
That was my 30th birthday. And also, like, I had a different setup then. Like, I was on payroll then. Like, it was, when you're on payroll, you can take a night and go to the club or go on vacation or whatever, because you know the following Monday or Friday or 2 weeks later, you're going to get another check and you know exactly how much is going to be in it. That's not what it is. So, another thing that's come up. I'm nominated for an award at South by Southwest on Monday night. And this is for me to like put you under the hood. Like, there's now a growing community here of people who can hear me right now, of people who want to do some version of whatever it is that I do for, if not for a living, then for a substantial side income. But I want to like put you under the hood of like what that entails, okay? I'm nominated for an award, South by Southwest, Best Business Finance Podcast, Direct Deposit was nominated, okay? Josh also worked on that show. We're very proud of that show. A lot of smart, good people worked on that show. Very proud of it. It was nominated for award in Vegas, maybe like 14 months ago. I went for that one, dressed up, got a great clip on the red carpet. It's done great for me on Instagram. Didn't win the award. I was nominated for 3 awards. Didn't win any of them. Was salty. Went home. This time, things are a little bit different for me, okay? Going to South by Southwest, not being flown there by Audible, not being flown there by South by, not being flown there as a contractor or an employee of someone else's company. Like, the trip would be sponsored by Chad, okay? Which means it's expensive to get to Austin from New York City. We're looking at flights right now that are about $450 to $550 round trip. That's for direct flights. And I'm definitely not doing a layover to go to Austin. Hotel, that's going to be another $200 to $450 thereabouts, especially during South by Southwest. So now we're in the like $900 range for this trip. I could probably wear something I already have. So let's just say I don't even buy. No, fuck it. Let's just do it, because if y'all want to do this, this is part of it. You got to buy an outfit. That's going to be another $100 to $300 to $500 possibly if you are a lady. Got to get my hair done. That's another $100 to $150, right? So now we're in the like $1,300 to $1,500 ballpark to go for one night to go walk on the red carpet, get some good media, and hopefully win an award. My dog's got to be cared for. If you got kids, it's probably 3 times this much, but that's going to be another $50 to $100 if I stay for an extra night. And I'm not going to stay for an extra night because that's going to be another $450 in the hotel or whatever the fuck. So let's just ballpark it all at like, let's just call it $1,500. $1,500 is in the general ballpark of my payroll for 1 month of this job, right? Of this production. That's a month of us coming in this studio, me paying my assistant Destiny, me paying our content person Luigi. Like, that's a month, okay? A month of life that I would be spending on one night to go and hopefully win this fucking award. $1,500, my budget right now is about $30 to $50 per day of money that I spend to boost ads on Instagram. So for $1,500, I can get my shit in front of like 50 to 100,000 people who don't know about me, okay? I just can't, as I sat with it, like, I just can't make it make sense. I cannot, in this particular moment of my life, and I'm thankful for a birthday, because a birthday did make me take stock of this. I cannot be vain enough to be like, it is worth it for me to go and look pretty and walk across the stage, hopefully, for me to trade that off for everything that I could get for those $1,500. Like, the shit is getting made in here. The shit is getting made in Prospect Park. The shit is not getting made at South by Southwest. So, not going! But Morgan's going, and I hope, I'm gonna hopefully.
I'm going for work, so
Morgan's
I'm getting paid, so that's different.
Yes. No, it's completely different. Your hotel room is probably taken care of. You're getting a check. Like, Morgatron is going, and I'm hopeful that Morgatron will go and represent me at at the podcast awards. And if she does, I'm going to try to get Morgan to agree. I'm going to try to write a small script for Morgan so that if I win the award, when she takes the stage, Morgan can...
And then I'm going to do what you do in this studio literally every week and go rogue.
Oh my... Morgan, don't do that! Okay, well, we'll figure it out. But anyway,
Lots of hand gestures. Lots of hand gestures.
Lots of hand gestures.
Like-
Wear a bandana. So...
Be like, hold please.
This is what's going on. This is a departure. I promise you all, a year ago, 2 years ago, I would have 100% spent that $1,500 to go to South by Southwest. But like the mission is tight right now. The mission is like, it is well framed. I see it, and it's like, keep doing what you're doing. Like, you click. This is the time to click, 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 click. With that said, I did get a phenomenal birthday gift, which is my title was approved for my book at Simon & Schuster yesterday, which I'm very excited about. I'm still not ready yet exactly to say what the title is, but I will be very, very soon. And this is going to dovetail into our next segment. I was very coy about promotion for the first few years of this journey. You are about to see me be so shameless and hungry about promoting this next book, in a way that honestly will probably be very inspiring to some of you, and some of you all will find it distasteful, and you will probably pay more attention than the people who actually like it. But more on that when we come back. All right. All right. Variety published a piece yesterday.
Yes.
That was, it doesn't matter to y'all if you're listening on podcasts. It's whatever day. Variety published a piece that was about people who are nominated for Oscars doing the media PR cycle and promoting themselves to win those Oscars, right? It's something that promotion. This will just be the promotion segment because I just talked about I am going to promote the fuck out of this book that is coming out.
Do you want me to read the title?
Of my book?
No,
just
of
kidding.
the.
Yes, please.
When an actor tries to, quote unquote, tries too hard, the pros and cons of awards season self promotion.
So, all right, let me first just examine the concept. So, you're nominated for something, not just Oscars, but this happens in everything. This happens when you're nominated for a promotion, like at work, at your company. This happens when you're nominated for school board, like whatever it is, you're nominated for something. And there is a process or an expectation for the nominee to do the rounds of schmoozing and charming and ass kissing and trying to get, it's basically a sales job. Like you're trying to get people to want you to win the thing so that they can put forward whatever it is that they need to get done to make it happen for you. And there's a lot of different ways to sell. There's a lot of different ways to get people to want to do something for you. There's a lot of different ways to get people to take action. And in my opinion, they are all sort of bespoke to the audience, whoever it is that you, or the powers that be, whoever you're trying to get to make a move, and who you are and what you're working with. For some people, in my opinion, the most sustainable and the one that is like the one that you can bet your odds on is, to me, being real. Like just being like, if the thing is, hey, I really want to win this award, and you got to get in front of the right people to win the award, then like get in front of those people and tell them what the award means to you. Like that's, like, or figure out what it is that they care about, how they're incentivized. Tell them, if you believe it, how you winning that award is going to achieve their incentive. If they want this award to mean, for instance, they want this award to be the pinnacle of artistic achievement, get in front of them and make clear to them why you are the right representation of the pinnacle of artistic achievement. Whatever. This piece is, I don't even think it's an article. I think it is an opinion piece, right? More or less. It is taking that phenomenon and putting this specific magnifying glass on the most prestigious night and event of Hollywood, basically, which Morgan tells me, do not do another segment bashing the Oscars. Okay, I won't. But it's speaking to the very fine needle to be thread by someone who wants to win, which is that you must be charming and you must show up, but don't be too thirsty, right? It's like this little balancing act, right? Like, make sure you kiss their asses, but only one cheek. And it makes me think of people like Leonardo DiCaprio, as an example, who for a long time wanted to win an Oscar, and he was held out. Didn't win the Oscar for a long time. And he didn't eventually won the Oscar, right? What did he win the Oscar
I think
for?
it's for Revenant.
For Revenant. Yeah, that sounds right. But it almost became like, at a certain point, there's almost like this schadenfreude, however you pronounce that word, that German word that means enjoying someone else's pain. There's almost this like schadenfreude, whatever it is, that takes over the Academy, the fans, the audiences, the nation, where it's almost like fun to watch the pain of someone who wants something so bad and cannot get it. It happens in sports too. This is here. Sports. Look. Some of us have enjoyed watching LeBron try to catch Michael Jordan and not have it, and it not happen. That happens all the time. It would happen with other athletes, not just LeBron. Like, we sometimes, once we have lit a snowball build where we define somebody by what they don't have, it almost becomes fun to, like, root for them to stay out of the club. It's mean. It's mean as fuck. Not when you do it to LeBron. But
Is
It's
there
mean, generally speaking.
Is there any subject that you cannot connect back to LeBron?
No, because his face is in front of me every single day. It's like a giant hot air balloon. How could I look around it?
It's a real talent of yours. I'm not
Yeah, no,
I can't help it. So I can't help it. Like, if you put, I'm 36 years old. For the last 20 years, I have seen LeBron James' name and image probably every single day of my life. So it's gonna be real hard for me to not bring things when we talk about sports. My favorite sport is basketball. Anyway, let me get to the point. Let me get to what I really want to say here. If the game requires, so let me apply it to myself right now. I'm not being coy about marketing myself and promoting myself. I am not being cutesy about that. Like, when you see my image and when you see my voice, I am being myself, and I am being, I think, tasteful for the most part, unless I'm just like being a dork for fun. Even that I think is kind of tasteful. But like, I'm not being coy about the volume. I'm not being coy about, you're going to see my little thing, my circle, my circle, here's my book. My Instagram circle is going to be at the top of your shit every time you go on Instagram, because that's the volume. And I still know I'm not playing at the peak and most effective volume. I'm trying to get there. But like, when you go on the internet, until you fucking block me, you're going to see me, because I have something to tell you. I have something to say. I have something that I need us to do together here. So you're going to see me. That is why, in my opinion, I am better served for this side of the industry than for the cutesy side with tuxedos. Because over there, you gotta do a dance. Like, it's Twister. You gotta like put your right hand on blue and your left foot on purple, and you're all twisted in knots because 10 different people in this academy, or 50, or however many of these motherfuckers are, they all want something different from you. They all want you to be someone different to earn in their favor. And I just can't, I just can't relate to someone who can live like that for a prolonged period of time. And truthfully, I don't think you can live like that for a prolonged period of time. I think when you do live like that for a prolonged period of time, you end up running up on the Oscar stage and smacking a nigga. That's what happens when you do like this. I haven't read the piece because it was yesterday my birthday, so fuck it. But I imagine that Will Smith was not named in this piece. Is that right?
No.
That's because you niggas don't know how to do this like me. He should have been, because that Will Smith thing is the exact result of this phenomenon of having to squeeze yourself into a tiny little hole, like, be thirsty but not too thirsty. You can't do that. Your back hurts. And then all of a sudden somebody says the wrong thing and you literally go up and commit a violent act on stage the night that you actually win Best Actor. How could they? That is such a miss. They didn't talk about Will Smith in the article? These niggas, I'm sorry, man. Okay, I'm not gonna be an asshole. But you guys are bad at this. That is such an obvious slam dunk if you're going to write this piece. I'm sorry, I don't know who wrote it. I don't care. Whatever. But if you're listening, you know what I'm saying. Like, you can't write the piece about doing the dance to win Best Actor and then not mention Will Smith. That is such an airball. All right, that's an aside. I'm leaving it alone.
The writer snob jumped out.
Do you guys feel me though? How could you not? No, you guys don't feel me?
No, I feel you now that you said it. I didn't think about it when I read it.
But I think that's such a miss. It happened like 14 months ago. Okay, whatever. And I connect it to how I feel. I am honored to be like nominated for something. Take that away. I'm honored. It's really exciting to me every time a publication or someone who I look up to or like who is a big titan in industry or whatever, it's flattering every single time somebody like that thinks that I'm good. It's flattering every single time someone who's not in that at all, but who's just a consumer of, every time I get a LinkedIn or a DM that says, yo, I read your book and da 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 da. It's very flattering every single time. However, those are outputs and they are uncontrollable. Like, those are things that happen in reaction to this process, which is controllable. If I go to South by Southwest, there's nothing I can do to make sure that I actually win that award. If you go to the Oscars, there's no amount of ass you can kiss. And I promise you, if you kiss 100 asses and you lose, you will not look at yourself the same way. And God forbid you win, because then your life is going to be a sequence of ass kissing for the rest of time, hoping that will create the output that you, thinking that those two things were connected, that the ass kissing and the reward are connected, is a dangerous philosophy. This is a pretty good segment. I'm reminded of Morgan. You always giggle when I give myself a compliment.
No.
I gotta fucking, you know what I mean? My high school basketball coach told a story that I ended up not putting on yearbook, and I wish that I had. He talks about, my high school basketball coach is the most anal, disciplined person I have ever met in my life, and I used to be Spike Lee's mentee. Okay? This person used to, if you were a minute late, a second late for practice, we would run the entire practice. If we lost a game my junior year, we would have 5 a.m. practice the next day in the snow. He was a absolute blowhard. In fact, one time, this is in the day, I was driving the hearse, my old Volvo, to school. I had my 2 boys in the car because we had 5 a.m. practice. We get there, and Coach Pigram is not there yet. And we sitting in the parking lot for 30 minutes, all of us so sad and cold, just like, what the fuck? He's not even here. And I called him to be like, hey, coach, like, are you here? We're just trying to get in the gym. And then he didn't pick up. And so me and my 2 friends, Justin and Marcus, we spent like the next probably like 4 minutes just being like, man, we were probably using all kinds of lingo you can't even use in 2024. Like, just like, what a fucking this, that, the third. What a bitch ass nigga. Like, this, that, the third, blah, blah, blah. And then my phone goes, beep, your message has ended. I was like, no!
Are you serious?
Yeah, dead ass. Dead ass. He never brought it up, so I don't know. But I know, that was quite a scene. But he tells this story. I know, it's fucking tragic, yo. But there was honestly nothing worse he could do to us than what he was already doing to us. Like, he changed us. He changed me. I'll speak for myself. He changed me. We went to the state championship that year. He made me realize the process, the inputs. You gotta fucking find a way to enjoy that side of the thing, because you don't know if these schmucks are gonna call your fucking name. You don't know if the referees are gonna have it go your way. You just don't know. So, like, focus on what you can do. This is a story he told. Before we came through and had success, and he had success before my team came, but like when he started his job, first year coaching, he was 30 years old, young, and he was this same process, anal-oriented person. Anal-oriented, that is not a good term to say about my coach. That's not what I meant. I meant he was anal and process-oriented, not process and anal-oriented. Whatever. He coached another school called Poolsville. They didn't win a game the entire first season. Go to the playoffs. His best player, star player on a very bad team, is late to school. The rules were, if you miss a class on a game day, you do not play. But he played him anyway because he wanted to win that playoff game so badly for his own career. And they fucking lost anyway. And it is his most shameful loss. It is his most shameful moment as a coach, as he described it, was that he broke his process to try to get a treat, and he still didn't get the treat. So you lose your dignity in the process while trying to get something you don't even get. And that is what this little dance, that is what Hollywood demands of you. Like, drop off your dignity so you can get this treat, and you still don't get the fucking treat. You don't get the treat by anything else besides being dope and having a budget to spend on marketing. So I'm not going because I need my monies. Okay. Why are you laughing?
I don't know, because I don't know what you're gonna say next.
I don't know what I'm gonna say next.
Do you want-
I was trying to think about.
Do you want to toss to music?
Yeah, let's do some music and we'll come back. But wait. I feel like there was a landing point here. No, there's not. But this is the only thing I want to say. It's because this was all. Can this all just be one birthday segment? Because I just want to say one last thing, which is the day started with I accidentally shut Penny's tail in the door. Penny is she's a big animal. She's tough. Okay. She gets all kinds of shit going on. You never hear this dog cry, ever. And she cried. And she was like, "Wah, wah, 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 wah." And I was like, oh, I felt, it was in there for like literally one instant. And she was scared. She was startled. Like, she doesn't like, you can't pull a dog's tail. She was fine though. She cried. Goes in the house. Oh, everything's fine. 2 seconds later, she forgets about it, which is what I love about dogs. But I go have this whole birthday emotional journey. Then second half of the day, I'm feeling better, more vigor, more verve, like more energized again. And thank God this day's almost over. And then like go out, like have like enjoy my night, get a steak, like all the things. You know what I'm saying? Birthday shit. And then I come home at the end of the night. This is my birthday. Come home at the end of the night. I only live with one other critter. It's Penny. There's no people. And I walk in my house. It fucking stinks. I look down the hall and she has shat on the runner in the kitchen like a big dookie, a big old shitty dookie just right there on the thing. And that was like, that was literally the only birthday gift I got yesterday. Like literally, my parents' gift didn't even come on time. Like, so that was my happy birthday. All right, anyway, let's play some music and then when we come back, we're gonna talk about Gen Z news and Love is Blind. Morgan is gonna lead us. All right.
Are we back? Yes, we are. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Nothing But Anarchy with your host, Chad Sanders. I just really wanted to take a minute to shout out Gangsters Buy Flowers. I think they're a really dope brand. Talks about duality of man, and I, as a man, feel like I have a lot of feelings that we should appreciate more. So yeah, this is the sweatshirt. You should go buy from them. And fuck LeBron. Oh, cut to music. Go get to music.
All right, welcome back. Listen, man. I honestly think we're having a good show, but like yesterday was my birthday and I did not prepare. So, and I usually prepare. Like we didn't know what to put on the docket this morning. We were in the rain, guys. Like we were out in the rain. Haven't looked at the reel yet. Don't tell me how it's doing. I think it's probably doing pretty good though. I did a trick, which is I was like, hey, if you want to wish me a happy birthday, share this reel to your story instead of wishing me a happy birthday. Some people, of course, wish me happy birthday anyway. But it's fine. All right. John Mulaney. My sister told me about this like 2 years ago. I kind of let me try to tell you what I think I remember from John Mulaney's story.
Okay.
John Mulaney was married to somebody.
Anna Marie Tedler.
Now, okay, John Mulaney is a comedian.
Yes.
And Anna Marie Tendler is a...
She's like a multimedia... She does like photography, digital stuff.
She's a media person. Mm-hmm. And they were married.
Yes.
And then he left her.
Yeah, divorced her.
Divorced her and married...
married... He's not married.
Oh.
He's just... He had a baby with Olivia Munn.
Olivia Munn.
Yeah.
Erin Rogers' ex-girlfriend.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's on... What's it called? Newsroom. I think that's what it's called, right? That show? Anyway.
The Aaron Sorkin show?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Also, Morgan, I also wanted to... Morgan said before this show started, she was just talking about how many people are getting laid off and like yada yada. And yes, this is not that like scripted TV and movies and stuff, like it's not a real industry because it's not a real business because TV shows don't make money. So yes, I mean, we've been saying it for 11 months now. Like, this is over. This is over. There's a new thing to do, creative people. Okay. Anyway, tell me what to know. Why is this new? What's happening with John Mulaney right now?
Okay. So, for context, I am a big John Mulaney fan, and then I'm interested. Okay, actually, I'm going to start. So, he was married to Anna Marie Tendler for 6 years, and he talked about her a lot in his stand-up, like his early stand-up. They never had kids. They didn't want kids. They had a dog, Petunia. And he joked a lot about also how he used to be addicted to drugs, but he had been clean and sober for X amount of years. He went to rehab in December of 2020 because he was back on drugs, not doing well. And then he got out in February 2021 and divorced filed for divorce in July of February 2021. And there's a little bit of overlap here, I think, because him and Olivia Munn announced that they had started dating in May of 2021. And everybody was kind of like, wow, that's so crazy, you know, leaving your wife after she supported you all these years, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. All the outside opinions. I wanted to say I do not know these people, so
Okay.
there's that. And now he had a baby with Olivia Munn, and everybody again was like, oof, you spent all these years with your wife, and you guys never had kids, said you never wanted to have kids, now you have kids. Yikes.
Yes. Okay.
Don't know what that means. And so it was just announced that Anna Marie Tendler is coming out with a memoir
Oh boy.
called Men Have Called Her Crazy, and it is a powerful memoir that reckons with mental health as well as the insidious ways men impact the lives of women.
God.
And I am very interested to read. So is my other friend who's a really big John Mulaney fan, because up until this point, yeah, I don't know these people, I don't know all the things, but I still say I'm a fan because I do really like his comedy. And then in August when this book comes out, I'll be interested in what she has
I have
to
a few
say.
questions. All right. Number one, why is this Gen Z news when these are all people older than me?
Well, I felt it was Gen Z news because it was something I was interested in.
Okay, all right, cool. That all right, that answers that question. Number two, what percentage chance would you say, where would you put the percentage at on you buying this book, paying money and receiving this book?
I would say high because I think we're gonna do a book club.
Oh wow. And you okay. So all right, let's talk about men being bad people. Because that sounds like what the book is about, right? What's the title again?
Yeah, Men Have Called Her Crazy.
And what's the subtitle?
The thing about the book is a powerful memoir that reckons with mental health as well as the insidious ways men impact the lives of women.
All right. My guess, I'm going to predict that there's actually very little written in this book about John Mulaney, but that this is a catchy way for her to launch her press tour. Like I said about Risa and anybody else. Like I'm saying to myself right now, if you take the window of opportunity to get your shit off and it includes being a little spicy, that's gonna come with, like, there's no internet police. Like nobody can be like, don't say those mean things to her. Like that's coming for her, and it's gonna come from the dude Joe Rogan incel side of the internet, and like the, if black people are even aware of this, the Kevin Samuels sphere, and it's gonna be really mean and it's gonna be really spicy. But get your shit off. I watched a quarter of Poor Things last night. And so, man, I have done such incomplete homework on this entire episode. But I think I'm doing pretty good. I think this is like a B+ episode, and that to me, sometimes when I over prepare, I get like a C-. So, as I can tell, that movie is about women being infantilized by men. Spoiler alert, okay? If you haven't seen Poor Things, now's your chance. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to stop listening or move away from your computer. All right? 1, 2, 3. Okay. In the first quarter of the movie, it is revealed that Emma Stone's character is an adult woman who committed suicide and had a baby's brain implanted into her own brain. And I know that sounds crazy. It's done very artistically. It looks really, really cool. It looks beautiful, and it sounds beautiful, and the writing's good and all that. But it's about men infantilizing women and keeping them, as far as I can tell, keeping them under control. But I think it means to eventually say that a woman's spirit, is so potent and so big and so powerful that it cannot be contained in that way unless a woman chooses for it to be contained that way. Something like that. I think that's where it's going. Man, books. This lady is writing a book. She was certainly embarrassed by how things played out with John Mulaney. I think anybody could relate to that. I think any of us would be embarrassed by something like that. And, okay, I'm going to tell y'all, as a writer, as an author, there is, as somebody who does this twice a week, as somebody who writes op-eds, as somebody who has many platforms and places to get a message across, I'm going to say about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe even less than that, I felt incredibly stung by a couple people in my life who I was close to. And I had this, like, villain origin story replaying in my head that, man, when it was my turn, like, I was gonna get in front of that camera and I was gonna, chew their head off. I was gonna tell people, I was gonna, like, what's the word? I was gonna reveal who these people really are, and I was gonna be so incisive and cutting, and, like, I was gonna really get my revenge. And now, granted, what these people did, to me was probably way less painful, way less important, way less impactful than what happened between John Mulaney and Anna Marie Tendler. And I imagine there are other things that men throughout the span of Anna Marie Tendler's life have done to her that are probably all bottled and processed and about to come through hissing in this book. And I guess when I see a title like this, or when I think of a story like this, when I think about my own decisions about what do I want to publish, a decision that I always have to make is, when I publish this, I am giving this new life. Like, when I publish this, if this thing was on its way to dying, it is revived again. Mm-hmm. It is going to circle me. It is going to be the conversations that I have in my life. Everywhere that I look will be a mirror of this. When I put direct deposit out and I say I go to therapy and I'm embarrassed and my mom's going to feel way, guess what? My mom calls me and we have a conversation. Like, when you put the shit out there, there's stuff that's going to be in my new book that I have not shared with pretty much anybody except my old partner and a couple of, maybe that's it, honestly. And I'm making a conscious decision that, like, when you it is now in the world and it is in your life. Like, it is going to surround you. I felt it. So I don't think in any way that Anna Marie Tendler, if what she's gonna do here is throw stones at John Mulaney if she feels stung, or throw stones at other men that have made her feel stung, or even if she plans to, like, be thoughtful and methodical and incisive, which this title does not suggest, I really do think that ultimately the most of the sacrifice will fall on her. Like, I think as the author, most of the weight of what you're going to feel from that is going to be, this is why I do not want to, I want to write serious things. I want to write meaningful, impactful things, but I do not want to write sad shit, because then sadness becomes you. I don't want to be an activist, because then, even though Josh said this bandana was me leaning into my activism shit, like, I don't want to be that, because, like, I don't want to become activism. Like, I don't want to become struggle, because then I will live in a life of struggle. So if you are going to write the cutting, precise exploration of the ugliness of men, which, by the way, I am interested in. I think it is like, I think it's probably underrated how familiar. A white person told me this about white people once. I feel the same way about guys. It is probably underrated how familiar and how annoyed by the ugliness of men other men also are. So like how exhausted I am by niggas. Like I myself might read this book. You know what I mean? Just to kind of like get a little bit of that action. But boy, is it gonna come with a lot of fucking headaches for Anne Marie Tendler, who seems like she has already had quite a few headaches to this point.
Wait, I'm curious.
Please.
There's only a couple minutes left, but with Yearbook,
yes,
you delved into some stuff that
I sure did.
Yeah, but I feel like you said that you feel kind of whole, or like you said that.
Did you notice that I changed my phone number?
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
Like, I had to drop it off. You know what I mean? Like, it became a weight. Like, it really did. I mean, it was like, it ruined some days for me. Like, it ruined some moments for me. Like, joyful, happy, easy moments. At my resting state, like, this, I actually do think this comes through clearly about me. At my resting state, I am fucking jolly. Like, I'm just like bobbing around like Kirby, you know what I mean? And then, but like, art brings chaos, and honesty can bring chaos. Like, telling something as it is, like, I'm still getting them. Like, the way I became a bounce back for other people's trauma when Yearbook came out, I literally had to opt out. I had to like change my number, you know, stop checking all the DMs, and give myself like some space, because I'm not a therapist. I can't just like, I'm not a receptacle for people's pain. So that's Yearbook is another proof point to me for this. My book is about selling out, which I have said. And it is going to, I would say, continue and give new life to and stir up a conversation that is, I think, percolating around selling out. And with the microscope on my own life and ways that I have chosen to make trade-offs, race, looking at public figures, but hopefully that will also expand into like other cultures, other people, other professions, and ways people sell out there. I think it's going to bring to me a conversation that I will actually enjoy, which is why I feel more excited about the release of it in a different way. I feel a more pure excitement for it. It's gonna have some anarchy in it. It's gonna have some chaos. It's gonna bring some like some people poking at me and looking at me funny and like all that kind of stuff. This book is very earnest, and it's very this is about like, how can we lift ourselves up?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I like that, but it also brought to me a lot of the struggle, you know, and I don't always want to talk about the struggle. So that's it. Nothing But Anarchy. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you all on Morgan. Are we ever gonna release the live show audio?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Live show audio is coming. And Josh,
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Where can people get that book?
This book?
Yeah.
Where can people get Black Magic?
Yeah,
what Black leaders learn
that
from
book
trauma
that
and triumph?
Yeah, the one that happens to
Chad
be right next to you.
This one right here.
Yeah.
How did this even get here? People can get this book on Amazon. They can also get it on the Simon & Schuster website. They can also go to my Instagram, go to the link tree in my Instagram, and there will be several links that you can choose to buy this book.
Preferably from a small bookstore.
Preferably from, that. But yeah, go get this book. Thank you, Josh. That was a great question.
Yeah, I mean, we're shamelessly plugging here, so you know.
Good job. No, that's awesome. Okay. All right. Okay. Goodbye.